Hello friends, today we'll continue with chapter number 9, Forest and Wildlife Resources, lecture number 9. Friends, up to now in this chapter we have discussed about the resources, we discussed about the meaning of forest, its classification, we discussed about the importance of forest. Friends, in the very beginning itself, we discussed about the meaning of forest. A group of trees, shrubs or grass grown in any particular region is known as forest. We discussed about the virgin vegetation as well. What is virgin vegetation, friend? Virgin vegetation, the natural vegetation that is grown without human participation, without the efforts of human. These naturally grown vegetation is known as virgin vegetation. Friends, we discussed about the classification of forest, in which we discussed that forests are classified into two parts. First is on the basis of administration and the other is on the basis of ownership, management and administration. On one side, on the basis of administration, again the forests are divided into three parts, that are reserved forest, protected forest and unclassified forest. In reserved forest, we discussed that these are such forests in which certain restrictions are kept by the government in collecting of woods, animal grazing. These are under the direct control of the government. Sorry. So here it is said that these are under the direct control of the government. If we talk about the protected forest, that means these forests over here, certain liberalization is given to the people to collect woods. They are allowed to collect woods, animal grazing is allowed, but in such a way that they do not harm to the trees. Unclassified forests are such forests that are not categorized in any of the above two, that is the reserved and the protected forest. Such type of forests are called unclassified forest. On the other hand, friends, classification on the basis of ownership, administration and management is also divided into three types. That is state forest, communal forest and private forest. State forests are considered under the ownership of state or the central government. Communal forests are under the ownership of the local self-government, and the private forests are under the government. The private forests are under the ownership of any particular individual. Friends, we also discussed about deforestation, which is a global problem. Nowadays, we can see as the development is increasing day by day in each and every country, tree felling is experienced in a maximum number. Large number of forest is being destroyed nowadays for the sake of expanding roads, making multi-purpose projects, expanding new human settlements. Due to many of such reasons, these forests are being destroyed nowadays. Friends, there are lots of impacts of this deforestation as well. Like it increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, greenhouse effect becomes severe. Here, the pollution increases due to deforestation. Also, the animals, they lose their natural abodes, due to which in search of food and water, they sometimes come to the human settlements where they come into conflict with the humans, and many times they even lose their life. Friends, we also discussed about the preservation of forest or the conservation of forest, how we can conserve these forests. After understanding the importance of forest, we discussed about the second part, that is the wildlife resources, in which we discussed about the diverse wildlife of India. We discussed about the wildlife that are on the verge of extinction. We also discussed about the reason why this wildlife are nowadays on the verge of extinction. Friends, today the topic that we are going to cover, that is about the preservation of this wildlife. Let us understand the preservation of this wildlife. Friends, let us understand about the preservation of wildlife. How can we preserve the wildlife? Preservation of wildlife. When we talk about the preservation of wildlife, here we said the biggest change needed to preserve the wildlife. The biggest change needed to preserve the wildlife is to change our attitude, towards forest. The very first thing is the biggest change needed to preserve the wildlife is to change our attitude towards forest. We consider nowadays we consider the forest as the source of unlimited income. Nowadays we consider this forest as a source of unlimited income, and so we keep on exploiting them, and that is why we keep on exploiting them to their maximum capacity. Friends, here it is said, nowadays our attitude is such an attitude in which we consider forest as a source of income for us. We are earning lot of income from the forest, there is no doubt. But when we are considering forest as only the source of unlimited income, we are exploiting them to its maximum capacity. So we need to change that attitude of considering forest as a source of unlimited income for us. We need to understand that the forest resource, we need to understand that the forest resources are limited. The forest resources are limited, and hence it must be preserved. As we all know that forest resources are limited, and that is why it becomes our duty to preserve this forest. Wildlife will be saved. If we want to save the wildlife, it will be only saved if their natural habitat, if we talk about the natural habitat, that is forest, are saved. Wild animals can only be saved if their natural habitat, that is the forest. If the forests are saved, then and then we can save even the wild animals. Here it is said, the balance between the number of carnivorous and herbivorous animals should be maintained. Here it is said, the balance between the herbivorous and the carnivorous animals also should be maintained, because they are dependent on each other. Balance between herbivorous and carnivorous animals also should be maintained. Active steps like maintaining the water sources in the forest. Active steps like maintaining the water sources in the forest and restricting the grazing of domestic animals and restricting the grazing of domestic animals in forest. These steps should be taken to maintain this balance. To maintain the balance between herbivorous and carnivorous animals, the necessary step is we need to maintain the water sources in the forest, and also we need to restrict the unnecessary grazing of domestic animal into the forest, so that the balance of herbivorous and carnivorous animals can be maintained. Strict laws should be framed. Strict laws also should be framed. It should be imposed and implemented. Strict laws should be framed, imposed and implemented against hunting. Friends, here it is said, strict laws should be framed, it should be imposed properly and properly implemented. These strict laws should be implemented properly against hunting, so that unnecessary hunting doesn't take place. People should be heavily punished. People should be heavily punished for illegal mining in forest area. People should be heavily punished if they are doing illegally mining work in the forest. Then be disturbed during their animals should not be disturbed during their procreative period. That means at the period when they are giving birth, animals should not be disturbed during their procreative period. Necessary arrangement should be made. If required, necessary arrangement should be made to see that the human interference does not occur in such times. Here it is said animals should not be disturbed at the time of procreative period. Necessary arrangement should be made to see that human interference does not occur in such time. The effect of fisheries, forest gathering or tourism. The effect of fisheries, forest gathering or tourism on the forest, that is on the forest, should be studied regularly. Should be studied regularly based on, it should be totally based on the outcomes of the study, based on the outcome of the studies, that is necessary changes should be made. Also, necessary changes should be made in the rules and laws. To protect the forest against the effect of fisheries, forest gathering and tourism on the forest, it should be studied regularly, and it should be studied on the basis of the studies that is necessary for the changes that is required, and according to it, rules and laws also should be framed. Program should be arranged to bring public awareness. Here it is said programs should be arranged to bring public awareness in the society regarding the importance of the forest and wildlife. Regarding the forest and wildlife, program should be arranged to bring public awareness, to bring and show the importance of forest to the people. If the if the wildlife protection force is active, if we can say if the wildlife protection force is active, then the force should be pressurized to give priority to the wild animals, and forest protection. Friends, here it is said if the wildlife protection force is active in that area, then they should be pressurized that more priority, more importance should be given to wildlife and the protection of forest. So friends, here we have understood that how we can preserve these forest and wildlife. We will understand the other topic in our next lecture. Thank you.